You meet someone new, a handshake, a glance, maybe half a second of eye contact, and before they've said a single word, your brain has already decided something about them. Trustworthy or not, safe or not, friend or threat. You didn't choose to make that judgment. It just happened. Faster than thought, faster than reason, faster than you could ever explain to someone else why you felt the way you did. But the real answer is far stranger than first impressions. Your brain isn't reading a stranger's character. It's running a survival calculation that's older than language itself. Here's what's actually happening. Psychologist Alexander Todorov at Princeton spent years studying exactly this question. His team showed people photographs of unfamiliar faces for just a tenth of a second, 100 milliseconds, barely enough time to blink, and still, people formed confident judgments: trustworthy, competent, dominant, warm. Give them more time to look, the judgments barely changed. Your brain had already made up its mind before your conscious thoughts even arrived at the scene. Why would evolution build something so fast and so fixed? Because for most of human history, a face wasn't just a face. It was information you needed instantly in a world where hesitation could get you killed. Think about the environment your ancestors actually lived in. Small bands, unfamiliar territory, strangers who might be trading partners or might be raiders from a rival group. There was no background check, no reputation you could look up, no time to sit down and have a long conversation before deciding whether to run. You had a face, and you had maybe a second to decide what to do about it. The humans who read that face quickly and reacted accordingly tended to survive the encounter. The ones who took their time to gather more evidence didn't always get the chance. That pressure, repeated across hundreds of thousands of years, didn't just shape behavior. It shaped a piece of your brain that's actually specialized for the job. Deep beneath your conscious mind sits a structure called the amygdala. It's small, almond-shaped, and it lights up almost instantly when you see a new face. Neuroscientist Ralph Adolphs has spent decades studying what happens when this structure is damaged. Patients with amygdala injuries often lose something specific, not their ability to see faces, not their memory of faces, just their ability to sense danger in one. Show them a photo of someone most people rate as looks untrustworthy, and they see nothing wrong, no alarm, no hesitation. The warning system is simply offline, which tells you something important. Trust isn't a thought. It's a feeling generated by a specific piece of biological hardware, built for exactly one purpose: keep you alive around strangers. But here's where it gets stranger. That hardware isn't actually reading trustworthiness at all. It's reading shape. Todorov's research broke this down further. People rate faces as more trustworthy when they have features associated with mild expressions: slightly upturned mouths, wider eyes, softer brow lines. Faces read as untrustworthy tend to share the opposite: lower brows, tighter mouths, angles that resemble anger, even in total repose. None of this has anything to do with the actual person behind the face. A generous, honest person can be born with a naturally low brow line. A dishonest one can be born with soft, wide eyes. Your amygdala doesn't know that. It's not measuring character. It's pattern matching a stranger's resting facial structure against ancient templates for anger, fear, and calm. You are, quite literally, judging a book by structural resemblance to its cover. And once that snap judgment fires, something even stranger happens. It starts shaping how you treat the person. Studies on what researchers call the halo effect show that people rated as more trustworthy looking get hired more often, given the benefit of the doubt more often, and even receive lighter sentences in courtroom settings. Attractiveness researcher Daniel Hamermesh found this bias reaching into wages, promotions, and everyday social treatment. None of this is about who someone actually is. It's about a face shape triggering an ancient alarm system that was never built for modern life. Because think about what your ancestors' world actually looked like compared to yours. Your ancestors met maybe a few hundred people across their entire lifetime. Every face was rare. Every judgment mattered. You scroll past hundreds of faces before breakfast: co-workers, strangers on a screen, profile photos, thumbnails, news anchors, actors, people you'll never meet and never need protection from. Your amygdala doesn't know the difference. It fires the same ancient alarm at a photo on your phone that it would fire at a stranger approaching you in the dark. The system was built for a world of scarce, high-stakes encounters. You're using it in a world of constant, low-stakes exposure, and it doesn't update. It doesn't learn that most faces you see today carry zero threat. It just keeps running the same 100,000-year-old program on a species living in an environment that program was never designed for. So, what do you do with a warning system this fast and this wrong? You don't get to switch it off. Nobody does. But you can learn something from knowing it exists. The next time you meet someone and feel an instant pull toward trust or suspicion, that feeling isn't evidence. It's an echo, a reflex left over from ancestors who needed to decide in half a second whether a stranger meant safety or danger. It fired before you had a single fact about the person in front of you, which means the two most dangerous words in that moment are the ones your brain whispers with total confidence. I know, you don't, not yet. Your amygdala just told you a story, built from brow lines and mouth curves, dressed up to feel like certainty. Tonight, you'll meet someone new, or scroll past a dozen faces on a screen, and in under a second, your brain will tell you exactly who they are. But the real answer is far stranger. It already decided before you did.